Hello, good morning, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting that we gather throughout the show, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Ayo Xander, and in the audience today we have Hello, I Am Noob, and the legendary Locks. Today is Thursday, also known as Thursday, June 30th, 2022. Now let's jump on into history, shall we? Starting us off in the year of 1520, Spanish conquistadors were expelled from Tenochtitlan following an Aztec revolt against their rule under Hernan Cortez during La Noche Triste, or the Night of Sadness. Many soldiers drowned in the escape, and Aztec Emperor Moctezuma II died in the struggle. Never trust the Spanish. 1548, Augsburg interim issued by Charles V became law, orders Lutherans to return to Catholic practices with some concessions. 1559, King Henry II of France was seriously injured in a jousting match against Gabriel de Montgomery. You know what? We gotta bring that back. Let's have the world leaders start jousting each other. Hopefully some accidents will happen and we'll start just start losing some of these assholes. Let's bring jousting back. Let's see how that goes. 1598, King Philip II of Spain moved to El Escorial Royal Palace, and he died there 3 months later. Well, that sucks. I want his hat. That's a cool looking hat. It kind of looks like a giant cotton thimble. 1688, Whig lords questioned Prince William III of Orange on Protestantism. 1700, Gelderland went on Gregorian calendar. Tomorrow is 12/7, 1700. So December 7th, 1700? Huh. Okay, that's interesting. 1722, Hungarian Parliament condemned Emperor Charles VI's pragmatic sanctions. Moving on up into 1860, a famous debate on Charles Darwin's theory of evolution was held at the Oxford University Museum and dominated by arguments between Thomas Henry Huxley and Bishop Samuel Wilberforce. Interesting. Yeah, now we pretty much proven everything involving evolution and everything. I mean, anybody who don't believes in evolution, just tell them about Pokemon. There we go. 1864, Yosemite Grant Act was signed by President Abraham Lincoln, bestowing 200,000 acres to the state of California, establishing the America's first state-controlled park. Interesting. Oh yeah, Yosemite. Okay. I've never been to Yosemite, but I want to go. In 1906, the U.S. Congress passed the Meat Inspection Act and the Pure Food and Drug Act. These laws owe much to the exposed journalism of the period, upon Sinclair's The Jungle in particular. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about that, but he exposed like the whole manufacturing, how everything was going, and to this day there's still apparently an acceptable amount of rat turds that go into hot dogs, so I don't eat hot dogs. 1908, at 41 years, 3 months, future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Cy Young became the oldest player in record at third career no-hitter as Boston Red Sox defeated the New York Highlanders 8-0. Also in 1908, a giant fireball most likely caused by the airburst of a large meteoroid or comet flattened 80 million trees near the Stony Tunguska River in Yenskoye Governorate, Russia, in the largest impact event in recorded history. Yeah, the Tunguska event. That's interesting. 1908 as well, during Wimbledon women's tennis, Charlotte Cooper Sterry won her 5th and final Wimbledon title with a 6-4, 6-4 win over Agnes Morton. 1 year later, 1909, Jack Johnson fought Tony Ross to a no decision in 6 rounds at Duquesne Gardens, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to retain his heavyweight boxing title. 2 years later, in 1911, British Open Men's Golf at the Royal St. George's Golf Club, Harry Vardon won his 5th championship by 10 shots in a playoff with 1907 champion Arnaud Massy of France. 1914, Mahatma Gandhi's first arrest after campaigning for Indian rights in South Africa. well, you know, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, and all these people always afraid of getting arrested. You know, it's going to happen. You know, you want to make the world a better place. You got to take the L, you know. 1916, British General Douglas Haig reported, quote, "The men are in splendid spirits," end quote, the day before the Battle of the Somme began. Oh, shit. Oh, God. So tomorrow's the Somme. Oh, boy. 1924, J.B.M. Herzog became Prime's Minister? What? Head of a coalition government between the National and Labour parties in South Africa. Is that supposed to be Prime Minister or Prime's Minister? Because now I'm starting to think Amazon is trying to stick their foot into history here. 1929, U.S. Open Men's Golf at the Wingfield Foot Country Club. Bobby Jones won his third U.S. Open title in a 36-hole playoff, dominating Al Espinosa by 23 strokes on the West Course. 365 days later, in 1930, Australian cricket maestro Don Bradman set up a 7-wicket victory with a patient 254 in the second Test versus England at Lord's. The Don hit 25 fours of 376 balls. Once again, I don't know anything about cricket, so that's just words and numbers to me. It's a blah, blah, blah. 1934, the Night of the Long Knives occurred, in which Adolf Hitler staged a bloody purge of the Nazi Party. Roughly around the same time, Joseph Stalin was doing the same thing in Russia. 1936, Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie asked the League of Nations for sanctions against Italy. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Also in 1936, Margaret Mitchell's novel Gone with the Wind was published. That's a good book. I have not read it, but, you know, it's a good movie, too. So, and, you know, I guess you can say, you know, it could technically be a book about farts, too. Gone with the Wind. You know, I don't know. I don't know. My humor is awful. Ooh, here we go. 1943, General MacArthur began Operation Cartwheel, which was the island hopping during the Pacific Theater in World War II. Yeah, Douglas MacArthur, you know. He was a great guy on the Pacific, and then we had Patton in the European theater. Two great generals, really great generals. 1951, the Victor Bohr Show last aired on NBC TV. 4 years later, in 1955, the Johnny Carson Show debuted on CBS TV. All right. 1956, Vladimir Lenin's Politics Testament of 1923 was published in Moscow. Ah. Alright. 1962, the LA Dodgers future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Sandy Koufax no-hit the New York Mets 5-0, his first of 4 career no-hitters by Koufax. Dang. 1965, NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle granted ownership of the Atlanta Falcons to Rankin Smith Sr., the Executive Vice President of the Life Insurance Company of Georgia. Rankin paid then record $8.5 million. Wow. 1967, Robert Henry Lawrence Jr. was named the first black astronaut. Oh, that's cool. First black astronaut. Blacktronaut. I don't know. Like as the joke goes, what do you call a black astronaut? An astronaut, you racist bastard. I don't know. Anyway, 1975, Muhammad Ali retained World Heavyweight Boxing crown by beating Englishman Joe Bugner by unanimous points decision in a rematch in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Ah. Yeah, these boxers just go all over the place. You had like Rumble in the Jungle, you know, that was somewhere in either Central or South America. I think it was held in Brazil, actually. I don't know. Anyway, 2 years later, in 1979 or 77, Jimmy Carter canned a B-1A bomber, later B-1s the B-2. What does that mean? He mislabeled or something? I don't know. Anyway, 1977, Marvel Comics published the Kiss book tributing rock group Kiss. Well, that's interesting. What is the Kiss book? 1977. Let's look that up real quick. 1977. Why can't I type? 1977 Kiss book. Okay. Images. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, I had no idea Marvel had any affiliation with Kiss, but now I do. And now so do you. In 1978, Giants Willie McCovey became the 12th to hit 500 home runs. Nice. Moving on up into 1979, Johnny Rotten and Joan Collins appeared together on BBC's TV's Jukebox Jury. BBC, of course, standing for British Broadcasting Company, not for big black word. So, goddamn newer generations constantly ruining abbreviations. Damn you, children! 1981, China's Communist Party condemned the late Mao Zedong's policy. Good, but, you know, the book didn't fall far from the page. So, 1982, Federal Equal Rights Amendment failed 3 states short of ratification. You know, that makes me wonder, because, like, you know, at first you're like, who is going against equal rights things and everything? But you got to remember, you know, politicians really love to sneak in things in bills. Like, you know, for example, like, I'm not sure if anybody watching this, you know, or anybody in the audience knows about the whole thing involving the ufology disclosure from the Pentagon, the 10-page document that was a giant nothing burger. That happened because Donald Trump put in a, I believe it was a infrastructure bill, that mandate. So it's a bill about infrastructure, and then it's just, oh, P.S. the Pentagon has to tell us everything, you know, they know about, you know, UFOs and all that stuff, which they've also reclassified as UAPs. Unidentified aerial phenomenons instead of unidentified flying objects, because we also have unidentified submerged objects, USOs. So, I mean, I guess any object that's unidentified, you know, is either one or the other, unless it's land-based. So, what would you call unidentified land-based object? Just an unidentified object? That's a good question. Anyway, getting back on track here, in 1984, Pierre Trudeau officially stepped down as Prime Minister of Canada after serving 2 separate terms for a total of 15 years. Pierre Trudeau. That last name is very familiar. And there is a Canadian in the audience, so he probably got all ragey when he heard me say that name. I would do the same. That guy's a piece of shit. Trudeau, at least. 1987, Emmy 14th Daytime Award presentation, Susan Locke lost for the 8th time. 1991, during the LPGA Championship Women's Golf at Bethesda Country Club. I did not know they had a country club. Aren't they a gaming company? What are they doing involved in golf? You know, isn't that supposed to be like PGA? You know, this is PGA country. You know, I don't know. Anyway, Meg Mallon won her first major title by 1 stroke ahead of runners-up Pat Bradley and Ayako Okamoto. Dang. In 1992, former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher joined the House of Lords as Baroness Thatcher of Kesteven. Baroness Thatcher. That sounds horrifying. And that picture is very symmetrical. 1992 as well, South African ANC President Nelson Mandela met with UN Secretary General Boutros Boutros-Ghali at Dakar. Moving on up into 1994, pre-trial hearings opened in LA against O.J. Simpson. Yeah. Yep. Also in 1994, U.S. Ice Skating Federation barred Tonya Harding for life. Now, was that the one that, and where's Sohan? He's the one who knows these things. Who is the skater who sabotaged? Was the skater who is the skater who sabotaged? Nancy Kerrigan. Okay, so this is not the same person, I don't think. Where'd she go? Okay, here we go. Yeah, no, so this is somebody else. Okay. In 1995, the Indians' Eddie Murray was the 20th to reach 3,000 hits. 2002, FIFA World Cup Final, International Stadium, Yokohama in Japan. Ronaldo scored twice as Brazil defeated Germany 2-0 to win a record 5th title, the first World Cup held in Asia. Nice. Also in 2002, U.S. Senior Open Men's Golf at the Caves Valley Golf Club. Don Pooley won by 1 stroke in a playoff with Tom Watson. 2004, Spider-Man 2, directed by Sam Raimi and starring Tobey Maguire and Kristen Dunst, was released. Man, that seems like so long ago. 2008, Mamma Mia, the movie, premiered at Leicester Square, London. 2013, Senior Players Championship Men's Golf at the Fox Chapel Golf Club. Kenny Perry won his first of 4 Champions Tour titles by 2 strokes from Fred Couples and Duffy Waldorf. The Waldorf Astoria? An interesting name. 1 year later, in 2014, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that family-owned corporations can reject provision of Obamacare on religious grounds. Okay. Okay, well, I guess that works for Chick-fil-A. 2015, Misty Copeland became the first black U.S. citizen principal dancer of the American Ballet Theater. All right. Well, that's actually fairly recent. So, it's 7 years ago. 2016, British political candidates announced their bids for leader of Conservative Party, including Theresa May and Michael Gove. Boris Johnson ruled himself out. Also in 2016, the IKEA Museum opened in the former very first likely IKEA store in Ahlhult, Sweden. What the hell does IKEA have that's museum-worthy? Like, they just show off all their weird-ass names. It's like, oh, over here, we have the Hinderbean that we discontinued in 1973. And over here is our old meatball recipe. I don't know. 2018 FIFA World Cup, Kylian Mbappé, at the age of 19, became the only second teenager, with the first being Pelé in 1958, to score twice in a World Cup match as France eliminated Argentina 4-3 in Kazan. 2019, just 3 years ago, U.S. President Donald Trump became the first sitting U.S. president to set foot in North Korea in the Korean DMZ, meeting Kim Jong-un. Yeah, he actually went over. Like, he was over there. That's crazy. Also in 2019, Brooklyn Nets load up on elite NBA talent on the first day of free agency. They signed Kevin Durant from the Golden State and Kyrie Irving from Boston and DeAndre Jordan from the New York Knicks. Wow, these guys are just taking people from all over the place, aren't they? Damn, Brooklyn. In 2020, FC Barcelona's Argentine soccer superstar Lionel Messi scored his 700th career goal, a cheeky Panenka penalty, in a 2-2 draw against Atletico Madrid. 2021, just last year, Pennsylvania Supreme overturns comedian Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction, ruling that the prosecutor who brought the case was bound by his predecessor's agreement not to charge Cosby in return for Cosby's testimony in a related civil suit. Cosby was immediately released from prison. And I have to agree, people don't seem to realize, because there's all these jokes, oh, Bill Cosby, oh, he's a celebrity, oh, yada yada. But you know what? The Me Too movement was a really strong movement based off of a bunch of lies. I mean, look at what happened to Louis C.K. Immediately, he apologized, because what do you do in this situation? People start accusing you of that while all these other people like Bill Cosby were being taken down. You're not gonna fight it, just, God, the Me Too movement just ruined so many innocent lives. Women have just got to learn how to close their legs. Anyway, moving on into births and deaths, but before that, if anybody in the audience looking at Noob or Locks, if either of you guys want to chime in with any articles that sparked your interest, start a little bit of a dialogue. All right.
Yeah.
What's up?
Sorry, I just chiming in on Trudeau.
Yeah, I bet you cringed when I said that name. It's just like, oh god.
It used to have such a better meaning so long ago, before this Trudeau showed up.
Yeah.
It used to be a very well respected name, because that Prime Minister did a fine job by what history tells.
Okay. Well, keep in mind.
This Trudeau, though.
Yeah. Well, you keep in mind that Sussy Jussie is obviously not this guy's son. He's only hit by name, but biologically.
No, yeah.
You've seen the picture of the old picture of Fidel Castro and the current picture of Justin, and it's the exact same face. It's kind of spooky.
Like, oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, Also, anybody who's watching this show, live stream out there, anybody who's watching this after the fact, put in the comment section anything that you want us to talk about, anything that you have questions about, whatever, all that stuff. Moving on into births. In 1470, we have Charles the Eighth. He was a king of France from 1483 to 1498. He invaded Italy. He was born in Chateau d'Amboise in France, dying in 1498. Well, that's not nice. He invaded Italy. Well, yeah. Then later, during World War II, Italy tried to invade France, and that didn't go so well. Italy tried to invade Greece, and that didn't go so well. Italy. Just focus on making spaghetti, and you'll be fine. 1901, Willie Sutton was born on this date. He was an American bank robber. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, dying in 1980. Dang. Let's see, who else was born on this date? Susan Hayward was a U.S. actress. She was in the films I Want to Live and Tulsa. Born in Brooklyn as well, New York, dying in 1975. A lot of people born in Brooklyn today. Let's see here, just scrolling. Oh! Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's birthday is today. Well, happy birthday, you ear-biting bastard. He is a U.S. boxer, the youngest ever heavyweight champion from 1986 through 1990. 20 years, 4 months, and 22 days. Once again, another Brooklyn. Born in Brooklyn, New York. Wow. 1969, Sanath J. Surya is a Sri Lankan cricket opening batsman. He was the MVP in 1996 World Cup. He was born in Madras, Sri Lanka. Ralph.
Cricket doesn't make sense, man.
I'm sorry?
Cricket doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's just like, we'll name it after a noisy bug. Our bat is essentially just like a 2x4 with a handle, and we use weird words like snippet and waffle buckle, like.
And also the bat's only flat on one side.
That's right. It's like, it's convex, right, on one side?
Yeah, it's like some kind of like half of, it's kind of like a pyramid with no top, whatever the hell that's called.
A decapitated pyramid?
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, let's go with that.
1975, Ralf Schumacher was born on this date. He is a German Formula One race car driver. He was born in Herth, North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. Michael Phelps.
He wasn't born in Boston.
I'm sorry?
I said at least he wasn't born in Boston.
Or Brooklyn.
Or Brooklyn.
Dude, 3 people so far today. 3 people born in Brooklyn. Like, what? Goddamn, Brooklyn. Calm down.
Yeah, really, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's in the water?
Oh, speaking of something in the water, Michael Phelps was born on this date in 1985. He is a U.S. swimmer. He was a record 23 Olympic gold medals. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland. So, I think he was disqualified after they found out he was a weed smoker. And then, recently he was in some swimming event, and he had the straight up Anakin Sith face, like remember that? Did you see that meme?
I think I did. I think so. Did you ever see the comedy bit from Robin Williams where he tells about a Canadian skier got his medal taken away?
A Canadian skier? Oh yeah. During the 2020 Olympics recently, or the 2022, or?
No, it was while Robin Williams was still alive.
No.
Yeah, no. He told about a skier that had his medal removed or taken away because he smoked marijuana prior to the race.
Let me guess. He made a joke about him unfairly getting high.
Well, it was more of the joke was because the people were saying it's a performance-enhancing drug. And he's like, no, it isn't. That's more of a debilitating drug. The only performance he would be making is if they had a chocolate bar at the end of the race.
Yeah, because every time I smoke weed, I immediately get to work. I put on my gloves, I go out, and I just start sweating. No, I smoke weed and I sit my ass in this chair and watch YouTube. Like, come on.
But here's the thing, though. Like, at the end of the performance, he says they asked him for the medal back. He couldn't find it. It was around his damn neck.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
It was so great.
That is.
I'll send you the video later.
Please do. Let's see here. Who died on this date? Montezuma II, 1520. He was an Aztec emperor from 1502 to 1520. Well, that's weird. It just switched. 0220. He was killed either by the Spanish or he was stoned to death by his own people. Well, we were just talking about weed, so this guy was stoned to death. This guy smoked so much weed, he died. He got high and he stayed there.
Well, he's in a better place then.
Yeah. 1882, Charles J. Gitu died on the state. He was an American assassin. Oh, he was the the assassin of U.S. President James A. Garfield. He was hanged at the age of 40. So this guy killed a sitting president. Damn. 1919, John William Strutt was third Baron Rayleigh. He was an English physicist and discoverer of argon. Got the Nobel Prize in 1904. Died at the age of 76. Argon, I believe, is a noble gas, right?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Argon is a chemical element with the symbol Ar and atomic number of 18. It is in a group 18 of the periodic table and is a noble gas. I was right. Argon is the third most abundant gas in the Earth's atmosphere at 0.934%. So almost 1% of our atmosphere contains this. And it looks to be like, that can't be neon. I think that's argon heated up. Or wait a minute. I think argon is in neon. Argon is a chemically inert gas. It is the cheapest alternative when nitrogen is not sufficiently inert. It is low thermal conductivity, and it has electronic properties, ionization and or emission spectrum, desirable for some applications. So I think this does maybe have something to do with neon lighting. I think this is what gives neon lighting its glow. You superheat the gas and it glows up. So anyway, I posted the link to this wiki in the underbar in the description for further reading for anybody who's watching the show. Moving on up into 1984, Lillian Hellman died on this date. She was a U.S. playwright. Toys in the Attic and Little Foxes died at the age of 79. We have Yitzhak Shamir, died on this date in 2012. He was an Israeli prime minister from 1983 to 84, then from 86 to 92. He was also a Zionist. He died from Alzheimer's disease at the age of 96. Oh man, that really does not help the case. Israel being led by a Zionist, not good. For anybody who knows what a Zionist is and know what they've done, yeah. Anyway, that's the end of Deaths, and that's the end of the show. Once again, you can check the underbar for any links that you may be interested in, which also includes everything Omni Coalition. Our Rumble, our BitChute, its YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, all that stuff, as well as other affiliations, Soen's Twitch, Muffin's YouTube channel, and all that stuff. Anyway, for your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brandon.